Okay. So, okay, let's all right, because we got the meeting coming up. So I've been concerned since pretty much the very beginning, right? In terms of like finding candidates for the chief of police. Um, and I think part of that concern got exacerbated with the behavior that Barrick bestowed. Um, that led me to say the following, which is this guy has literally been just drowning his own police department for his own personal gain, and was willing to do whatever to maintain the position, regardless of the side effects of what that would mean to everybody, right? So then all of a sudden, you know, between all the shit that I was dealing with as a lawyer, seeing what they're doing, the behavior they're bestowing, and how quickly some of those cops were willing to like flip the script the moment they realized I was going to become mayor. All these things like inherently paint a picture of them individually. You with me? So, like Ruby, for example, I very much recognize, you know, she carried most of the weight with the LSPD. It became very apparent when speaking with Barrick. I doesn't even know how the FTO program. He didn't know anything. Like when I was starting, like the last conversation we had, like I was asking him some things, and he's just like, I don't know. It's like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like how? And the whole argument about he had things to do out of the city and like he was under Max's thumb, all bullshit. And if the guy is so hooked that, you know, he lost, you know, all ability to do anything in the last 4 or 5 weeks while Max was gone, that's also once again an excuse. He had plenty of time to like turn things around. Going back to Ruby, you know, despite how much effort she's put into it, like her mental is very much mama bear, right? And that's just not inherently healthy for someone at the top of the food chain, because it inherently means that anytime anyone does something, puts up a grievance, I just don't trust her ability to maintain accountability or take any complaints about officers with any amount of credence. Now, I could be wrong, but I mean, I don't fucking patrol with her. I have to go off her flippantness, you know? She had a certain attitude towards me, and the circumstances surrounding the FOIA conversation, which came with good faith. And, you know, then all of a sudden everything's nice and dandy. I just can't, in my heart, trust that, right? So now came all the candidates, right? We had probably like, what, 15 people come in and out of that office. Not a single one of those individuals wanted chief or ask chief or high command. And I think the biggest blow was hearing from McNulty he's not interested. When everything points at the fact that he's probably a big component of LSPD in shift 1 and 2. Right? And at that stage, you know, what was left? Vivian was the only one that walked into that room with a plan. However, as much as she has support, there's a lot of lack of support around her. And that started to come to light in this last 24 hours. Now, I did speak to someone named Dana earlier, which I'm not going to put too much credence in because she's barely been around. But I started to have some second thoughts, but honestly, I still think she's probably the best pick. Or I did until I had.
Talking about Dana or Viv?
No, Viv.
Okay.
However, over the last 2 days, I started to get like indications that there might be some issues. And I think even while talking to Viv, I knew that those issues sort of existed, which is why we needed the foil, right? Someone like a Liam, someone who's got some long-term experience being in the mix to help facilitate plugging the holes where there are holes, right? Because one person is not going to run the LSPD. It needs more.
Mm-hmm.
And when we last spoke to her, she mentioned Skyfae as a captain, and she's kind of torn on the two. And I mean, you saw me yesterday, Tilly, right?
Yes.
That was me just being like, who else is going to fit in there? It's just not going to work. I fucking know it's not going to work. And there is no way I can just put someone there and be like, this is... I just know it's not going to work. It just isn't. I can sit back and watch her try to make it work, but her alone would not be enough. And then a miracle happened today. In came Tyler. Y'all know who Tyler is from BCSO?
Mm-hmm.
Pete is
Yes.
the person who leaves shit and dead animals on my porch in Polito.
That's the one.
Okay.
He is the perfect pairing to Vivian. He came in with a plan today. And in that moment, I realized this is the guy. To pair with Vivian.
I don't know.
Isn't he the same time zone as Vivian? If you wanted to make him ass chief, it wouldn't work.
Yep. He is willing to fully commit to shift 2. And I think, as crazy as it sounds, this poop shit that you're talking about is exactly what shift 2 needs.
I really don't think that they would be cohesive. I do not think that those two would be a good pair.
Well,
They're both very strong-headed. They're both going to have their own opinions, and they're both going to want to stick to their opinions.
you think Tyler's strong-headed?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes, I've met him and I've talked to him.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think he's very strong-headed, and I feel like just the issue, right? They're both good leaders, and they both have good vision. But I feel like due to both of them being kind of strong-headed,
Polar opposites.
it's gonna cause issues.
Good.
Not good issues, as in like I'm afraid things won't get done issues, because they're both not gonna agree with it.
That's exactly what we want.
Not fun issues, not issues that are gonna be enjoyable. Bad issues.
You think they're gonna kill each other? Is what you're saying?
No, I feel like just things will not get done.
Here's kind of where I'm at, is because I know Tyler will pick her, but I don't know if it's going to be the other way around. And I'm very concerned. So here's the thing. Tyler will mean Viv as ass chief, but I don't know if Viv is going to mean Tyler as ass chief. And, but I also know deep down that if Viv is chief and nothing really changes, then this LSPD's fucked anyways. This is where my head is at the moment. And this is outside of the baggage that comes with picking Viv. I think there's a lot of cops that wanna. I think the elements that they're gonna deal with are gonna have very strong negative opinions. Now, keep in mind, I have spoken to a lot of these groups individually, and it's been a big part of my calculus. Now, is it possible that this may cause the absolute destruction of the LSPD? To a degree, I have come to the conclusion that I don't really give a fuck. This might sound a little, listen, I want to hear from you on this, but over the last week and a half, the amount of dead weight that exists between the LSPD and the general public, Daddy needs to come in and just make a choice. whether it's sanitation, whether it's the police department, whether it's whatever it is. And it may not be something that most people are going to agree with, but I'm willing to try it. And with Tyler, I know that if he fucks up, I can pull the guy. Now, this brings me to the next point, is with the amount of bullshit that I've heard happening in that department in the last week and a half, I don't know how much I want to be tied to the decision. Because regardless of if I pick Viv or Tyler, people are going to be upset regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Tyler is going to vibe more with the most notorious shift, which is shift 2. I think the opposite is going to hold true in shift 1. But you pick Vivian, these gangs are going to freak the fuck out, and there's a good fucking chance that that targeting is going to come in the direction of us, and that's going to prevent me from, or us, to be able to focus on what's important. On the flip side, with Tyler, you're going to probably have a lot of cops freak out and get pissed. So, regardless of which option it is, there is no perfect one. So I'm kind of contemplating putting it up the vote, but I haven't decided on that point yet.
So, are you saying keep Viv as chief, or are you doing a switch?
Either or. Yeah.
Well, you can do
Hasn't a
Tyler. Go ahead.
Sorry, hasn't a majority of the consensus been from people that Viv is okay, and not that they hate her
exactly.
guts?
It's been a mix of, for non-PD elements, it's been don't know her or not a fan.
Because I'm pretty sure there was a situation where a gang...
Oh, the besties you're thinking of.
Yeah. No, there was... this was a few weeks ago where a gang started a shootout with the PD because of Peters. I don't think there's ever been a shootout started because of Viv.
Please tell me more. You might know more.
I know, but I don't know the full situation. It just it was something that happened because of Peters, and they took it out on the PD because of Peters.
Holy shit!
I don't think anything like that has happened because of Viv.
I cooked the best idea. There's gonna be a shadow vote.
A what? What's a shadow vote?
Do I let the city decide, or do I let certain elements of them decide?
No, you do not let the city decide. They don't know what's best for them. That is like giving a bunch of crayons to them and letting them draw bullshit.
You're right.
I think you're right.
And if that's the case, it's got to be Tyler chief and Viv is the ass chief.
For the betterment of the city,
yeah.
I agree.
Because Tyler is someone I can have in that room talk about penises, but when he needs to lock it in, that guy's going to lock it in. I don't know, as much as Viv sounds good on paper, I am concerned she's going to tear under pressure. And I would not have felt this way if it wasn't for 2 particular incidents that I know did not go well.
Which was?
Hydra raid, and prior to that, what the fuck was that? What was brought up to my attention? Fuck, something was told to me on Saturday. And that gave me PTSD. Shit, I don't remember.
I think Tyler is the only one that fits into the little criteria that I had described to you at one point of somebody that we are looking for as chief. I think he's the only one that's I've seen as a candidate that fits that criteria.
Yeah. And I'm going to be pretty selfish here. I feel comfortable and I can sleep at night with that choice. And the Viv election has, for the past 3 days, have been in the back of my mind, giving me nerves. So,
I think if you're overthinking it, then, you know.
yeah. I mean, you've seen it, Tilly.
Yeah.
You know? I knew something was wrong. And that's why I've been hoping someone like Turner would show up. But I just don't think that's possible.
I agree with the newest choice you made. I don't think that we should put it up to vote. I think, you know, you should do like you said, Daddy take over. You just do it and kind of go from there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing that really drove me into Peter's is there was a different level of conviction I heard from him today. And with him being shift 2 and that being the hot of July 3rd, without a strong leader in that spot who can do your pee pee and poo poo while maintain order in the cells, there is no long game with the LSPD, and I think that's kind of where my decision is ultimately stemming from, which may sound foolish, but you know, it feels right to me.
How do you feel about it, Eve?
I don't think it's going to work.
Oh.
I'm basing it off of he's somebody who pisses off gangs, and if gangs are willing to put the whole PD under punishment because of one person's actions, and he's not willing to own up and take accountability because of those actions, you are crippling the PD before giving them a chance.
I think before any decision is made, we got to look into that. Do you know when this happened?
That was a few weeks ago.
Okay. In the same line, Vivian is the reason that Mr. K is a criminal.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Mr. K has always been a criminal, so
No,
I don't think
I know, but no, but what my point there, Eve, is that's why we have to assess it, right? Because every cop has done something that has caused issues, right?
No, but I don't think that's fair to say that.
No.
You literally can't say that.
No, I know. I'm being cheeky here. Tyler, come to the observatory.
Okay. Do you want me to come alone?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm coming up there. But real quick, you remember how we were talking about fucking jacking off too much?
You have 2 minutes.
You know.
All right. I want you to grill him.
God, I wish I had those questions that I asked Viv.
Yeah. No, I think we grill him on, I think if you've got those in mind, but I think what Eve said is very important to suss out.
Whoops. No, I didn't mean it. Fuck. I'm so upset about the fact that you said that. Okay. Let's do it.
Dude, this is so juicy. This is so juicy, man. This is what I was hoping for. I, like, transparently for the RP. I'm sorry, what's that?
I said I asked if she was okay.
Yeah.
Medi wiggle.
Eve, I want you to be able to speak your mind, all right? Even though I've got my mind set.
I just don't understand where this came from. Like we went almost a week. We asked every single person what they thought of Viv, and about all of the people we spoke to, a majority of the decisions was, yeah, Viv fits this, and she will be the best at doing this. Did Peter's name come up once?
No, it didn't. Transparently, I've been giving most of my concerns to Tilly. I didn't want to concern the rest of the cabinet with my my dooming.
But do you not feel at this point that you're maybe overthinking the situation and overcooking the situation?
No, I think calling it overcooking is pretty much saying we should YOLO instead, because there is no immediate.
I feel like this is YOLOing it.
No, because there is. I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and I think the
The last
pressure
24
of
hours?
forcing. No, it's been last 5 days. I think the notion of needing to even pick a chief is only a necessity of the Constitution giving me the power to appoint one, but there is zero expectation for a timeline or me to choose one to begin with. And as such, I'm going to give every decision we make ample amount of time to the point that I am comfortable with the decision. These last 3 days, I was not comfortable. And after his conversation today, I have. Now, I do agree that I've been giving off the feeling of comfort, but I have not been.